How to choose the best AI lead generation tools that works for you? You are probably using many different tools for outbound automation, just like me, and wondering why nothing works. Lusha, PhantomBuster, HeyReach, Lemlist, Dripify, to name a few. I've tested all of them, and the problem isn't that they are bad. It's because they're solving a different layer of a problem at the same lead generation systems. So instead of ranking all of them, I'm going to break the whole outbound process into 4 layers and show you what each tool does and what's good about them, what's not so good about them, based on different part. So there are 4 layers of modern outbound systems. Layer 1, data, which means who are you targeting? Layer 2, enrichment. Can you actually enrich them based on their emails, their phone numbers, and linkings? And layer 3, channel automation. How are you going to scale, whether it's through LinkedIn, email, or both? Layer 4, pipeline intelligence. Who should you be talking to first? Who is it most likely to buy? And most of the tools specialize in 1 or 2 layers. And by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly which layer that your stack is missing, and perhaps you can find out what's the best tool for yourself. So let's dig in. So let's start with the layer 1, data. If all you need is a contact information, i.e. the data layer, then Lusha will be great. It does fast lookups, it does email, it does phone number lookups, also integrate with CRMs. It's clean, it's efficient, but it stops at data. There isn't an outbound or outreach automation, and it doesn't do scoring. There's also no pipeline tracking. It feels like it gives you the fuel to power the engine, the outbound engine. And you can export the data to a list and upload it into your next tools. And also there's a bit of hidden cost in sending campaigns and filter data. And the cost shows up in the deliverability and the reply rate. Okay, let's talk about layer 2, customer data and the scraping. Think about this. What if the data you need isn't in the standard B2B database? That's where PhantomBuster comes in. PhantomBuster is a kind of a cloud-based automation platform for extracting and structuring web data. It gives you the pre-built automation script. It's called the Phantoms. It works like it can extract linking search results, such as profile information, as a structured list. Then you can put that data from LinkedIn Sales Navigator and other platforms such as Twitter and Instagram. You can export these results into a CSV or Google Sheet and then push them into your CRM. Then the tool automate the whole repetitive task like sending these connection requests and to do the basic level outreach based on the data that you collected. In other words, PhantomBuster helps you to automate the collection and the structuring process. What's missing is it doesn't do the tracking, but there's also no scoring engine and there's no pipeline view. In a way, it gives you a good flexibility in choosing where the data come from, which platform you want to track, getting the data. But it's really lacking that intelligence layer to track and evaluate. And to be honest, that's where most of connects happens. Let's talk about layer 3, channel automation. So let's use LinkedIn as example. So if you have the data, the next question is, how are you actually going to reach to those leads? So if we take a LinkedIn automation tool such as HeyReach or Dripify as example, the both platform focus specifically for LinkedIn automation, such as they send connection requests, it can do follow-ups, they can even like their post and comment on their post. HeyReach, as according to themselves, is built in for agencies. So it wins in terms of scale. If you have multiple seats, you can pretty much negotiate a good deal with them. I also integrate with tools such as HubSpot and Zapier. And its positioning is quite clear. It's a scale through LinkedIn automation, and it claims it's safe. Dripify positions itself as a cloud-based LinkedIn automation platform. Also, it's more well-known within individual solo founders or solo salesperson. So it does the automated LinkedIn prospecting campaigns. It also has a drip flow builder for sending connection and reply messages. The analytic feature is pretty good. It offers CRM integration. It's designed more for ease of use for individual users and focus on LinkedIn automation. So how do these two compare? They're both purposely built for LinkedIn automation. And it also automates sending the connection request, follow-up messages, prospecting workflow on LinkedIn, but they don't really have a native database in the sense of you can actually finding out the data from the tool. So most of the search is based on a search URL that you don't really get to see what leads is behind them. It also doesn't replace the CRM. Is it lacking the AI analysis features? and it doesn't unify other channels such as emails. So if linking is your primary outbound channels, I think these tools in terms of automation is good choice. On top of that, let's talk a little bit more about other channel like email. On the email side, two tools comes in pretty strongly. One is Lemlist and Reply. These are the two most established platforms. Lemlist is known for like creative personalization. There's a lot of features that build like templates. You can create personalized messages through different variables, drop different links and images. Reply position more for mid-market or enterprise sector. So it integrates with CRM. There's a more workflow automation and the infrastructure is robust, but obviously it has a more higher pricing tiers. So both of them are very good at sequencing emails. It helps you to build a multi-step email campaign, track deliverabilities. It can also automate certain workflow such as follow-ups and tracking replies. Lemlist start integrating with the linking as well. So there's a sort of multi-channel for Lemlist. For me, they have a very comprehensive offering from lead database and automation. What's really missing is the ability to analyze these leads before you start a campaign. So that really brings the final part of this episode is like, what is the real bottleneck for building an effective outbound campaign? So let me tell you something that most of founders miss. They feel like they have to send a lot of messages. While most of these outbound fail not because of sending, actually because of prioritization and quality of leads. You can blast out a 1,000, but within 1,000 prospects, only 100 matters. So most of these tools that we discussed, from data to automation, through emails or LinkedIn, really address that problem, which is the layer 4. So up to this point, every tool we discussed solve one part of the equation. Data tools give you the context. Enrichment tools enrich them. Automation tools automate the process. And CRM tools, other tracking tools tells you what's happening within the campaign, which means among these 4 or 5 steps, you are constantly switching tabs and switching apps and moving data from one to another. It's very much a Frankenstein tech stack. It really breaks the momentum of your outbound process. Now, layer 4 is about stitching everything together from one tool. And this is something I discovered using Gro. So within Gro, it helps you to search within the built-in database, which is about 1 billion contacts, and then enrich them with the contact information. And then you can go even deeper level to view the profiles of the company and person. Most of all, it helps you to analyze them, to score if somebody or company really meet the requirement. Then you can start outreach to them and track them. It's not about automation. It's about eliminating the handoffs. So instead of you switching between different tools such as database to enrichment to sequencer to CRM, it becomes really clean. You search for the leads, you analyze and score them, then you send the connection or the campaign or the message to the right one, then you track all in one system. So that is the modern days advantage of using an integrated tool such as Gro. And I personally feel that's a pretty different category comparing with the other tools. So let me summarize. So in 2026, if you're looking for the right tool for your outbound automation, let's ask yourself, are you just looking for data? If you're looking for data, Lusha is great. Or if you're looking for more than one type of data, PhantomBuster will be a great scripting tool. If you're focused on automation, linking, you can choose HeyReach or Dripify. If you look at email automation tools, Lemlist is a good choice. However, if you're a single founder, one-person company, need a tool that does everything in one platform, Gro is the choice. And it does offer a free version. So hopefully you find the right tool for your 2026. Good luck selling.